Hey there, I'm back reading some Negation, and this time I'm on issue 11. A good issue. It's kind of the start of a new story arc after the baby's been killed. This guy on the cover is the greatest general in the Negation universe. He leads Charon's troops and stuff like that. And he and our heroes are trying to locate the baby that was stolen last issue. And so what they're trying to do is get on this guy's ship and find the location of the baby. And they got sort of an elaborate plan. Some nice artwork. This is okay. We got a guest artist this issue. Instead of Paul Pelletier, it's Yannick Paquette. He did a nice job. Nice shot of Evan Leah there. She's part of the plan. Gives herself up to this general. We get some more of Charon trying to figure out what that baby is. And we find out there's like a rivalry between the general and this lawgiver or lawbringer, whichever he is. Lawbringer, I think it is. And then and what's interesting, the general's on this spaceship doing general stuff, mopping up some troublemakers. And then we get a look at this guy who was a pirate in the cross-gen universe, and what his sigil does for him is it lets him complete missions somehow. There's a story that goes with it. But just as they're doing their plan, these people attack these people. Who were they called? They were called something. I can't remember. But these kind of people with some sort of psychic powers attack the general and his ship. I guess he was trying to wipe them out, and now they've gained power and they're trying to wipe him out. So it starts out very quiet and then gets very exciting. And at the end, it leaves us with a cliffhanger as the general kind of exerts his own superpowers on his attackers. Meanwhile, our prison break crew is still trying to find that baby and get home and get their own plan going. So a good issue, very exciting. I liked this one. Negation number 11. Just read issue 12 of Negation. Paul Pelletier is back on the artwork, and it was a really fast reading issue too. This one was. We continue our battle with the general, and Kane kind of, and I think it turns out the guys who are attacking the general are Atlanteans from the cross-gen universe, Earth, who crossed over and got superpowers, crossing over. And the guy that Charon has held captive on his planet on his homeworld for the last, I don't know, half a dozen issues, turns out to be their leader. And I think that has something to do with the series Crux from CrossGen. That's one I only read some of. So all the Atlanteans take on the general. First they were getting slaughtered. Then Kane grabs their leader and is like, come on, you're fighting like civilians. And he organizes them to take out the general, which is got some really, really cool fight, really cool ship. And then Kane and the Atlanteans come up with a plan. Kane's whole plan is to rescue this baby he didn't rescue him yet this issue, so that cover is misleading. And the Atlanteans, turns out, want to rescue their leader from the homeworld, so their priorities merge, so that's what they're going to do. But then was an interesting bit of storytelling is Kane grabs some shut-eye just before they do the plan, and then wakes up and everything goes to hell. But then that turns out to be a prophetic dream, and he wakes up at the end and is like, hold on, we got to change our plan. That was an interesting bit of storytelling. I found that, especially when all of a sudden they had a baby, where the baby starts talking to him, and it's like, yeah, this is all a dream, but it'll be reality if you don't wake up and fix things. So once again, really good issue, really fast moving. This whole series is very fast moving, but this issue was particularly fast moving. Good stuff. Negation number 13. here we go with another fast-paced issue in the heat of battle. They're trying, and it turns out they're not Atlanteans. They're Australians whose leader is an Atlantean. Like I said, I think that has something to do with Crux. The leader is the leader I mentioned last video of the people, the superpowered people from the CrossGen universe. He's Atlantean. And so what I really like, we get in the beginning, we get quite a bit of Charon in his homeworld with the Lawbringer, Quetzal, or whatever his name is. And Charon is just so powerful. He's like, they're attacking us. Our defenses haven't been tested. This will be a good... He's like so powerful. He's like, he doesn't even really care that they're trying to attack him. And his Lawbringer, Quetzal, though, is just a maniac. And Charon is even like, what are we going to do with you? Because he's such a maniac. And here's one of the Australians who is trying to lead her people to rescue the Atlantean guy. Meanwhile, we've got Kane and the jailbreak crew trying to hold up their end of the bargain and rescue the baby and the I think they're like the key to rescuing the Atlantean guy too. So there's some really good stuff. We even get the captain who was the warden of the prison trying to chase them down too. He's back, and this guy right here, one of Kane's crew, is mad because they get the drop on Clumpton or whatever his name is, who's the captain warden, and he doesn't want to kill him outright. Kane's like, I've had that. And then there's all sorts of excitement as Kane tries to, he sends the others off on the mission and stays in this ship himself, trying to just distract people and get, and see if he can kill some high-value targets with the ship. And here's a great shot of him. That's Charon getting hit. And you know that's going to do nothing to him. He's too powerful to be hit for like a blast from a ship to do him. But it really pisses off the Lawbringer. That was a great double-page spread. When you turn the page from Charon getting hit to the Lawbringer Quetzal going, I'm going to kill you guys for disrespecting the Emperor. And just good, fast-paced, good stuff. Really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm really enjoying that. I don't think I've read this in at least 5 years, so I'm really enjoying this reread. Here we go, Negation issue 15. Our usual team, Paul Pelletier still drawing. Tony Bedard on the writing. What's with that pose on that? But this issue is kind of about her. She's the woman in the prison break. Turns out she's actually an Atlantean. But this whole time she's been thinking she's in a dream. Once again, it has something to do with the Crux series that I only read some of way back when. But they give us a little history of that in the beginning. She was in a stasis tube waiting for some other Atlanteans or Earthlings to do something. So she thinks she's still in that stasis tube dreaming, but really she was brought over to Negation's space by Charon. And this is a little history of the Crux series, I think, about what happened to Atlantis and this and that. And then we get into the rest. The Kane isn't with the rest of the prison break crew. They're all trying to rescue the baby and the leader of the Atlanteans. And what's really funny is at the end of last issue, we saw Kane, who's the star of the book, crash. He's the one who shot Charon, and then the Lawbringer crashed his ship. And the captain of the guard, the warden captain who's been chasing Kane the whole time, gets pissed that he isn't the one who gets to kill Kane. So he attacks the Lawbringer, saying, I'm the one who gets to kill Kane. And then the Lawbringer gets really pissed off because the Lawbringers are maniacs and says something like, where is it? I've had enough of your vendetta, Compton. Share the human's fate. And Charon is like, Quetzal. The Lawbringer's name is QZTR. Quetzal? I don't know. It's like, Quetzal, wait. And the the Lawbringer sends them somewhere. We don't know where he sends them. Charon just said, "You sent them to Karakoram. You know that's a special punishment that I have to approve, and yet you did it anyway." So then Charon, in order to punish the Lawbringer, says, "You're not going to be allowed in the fight. You're not going to be allowed to kill all these Australian Atlanteans with the rest of your Lawbringer buddies." So Charon sends him away. Charon, for a villain, is actually a pretty reasonable guy. He's not crazy like these Lawbringers he made. So then we get the rest of them trying to rescue them. Charon goes off to fight this stuff. So he kind of leaves the baby and his captive leader of the Atlanteans there. And then we get more of this woman on the cover, who thinks she's in a dream. She's the one who's kind of the key to, and Evan Leah, the powerful woman of the first, kind of uses her, and she eventually rescues the Atlantean guy. What's his name? The leader. So she's part of the rest, but we still. So the rest of this deals with the rescue, which is once again pretty fast-paced rescue. And let me show you the double-page spread of the other Lawbringers. Keep forgetting if they're law. There we go. Very cool double-page spread of these monsters who are Charon's superpowered enforcers. And got one more issue in this video, and then I'm going to move on to the mini-series that comes on here. But one more issue. First off, I was wrong. There's 2 issues, not 1 left in this video. And here is key issue, Negation number 15. I guess this was something CrossGen was doing at the time to try to sell comics. Is give yourself a key issue designation on it, Negation. And with this, we find out what happened to Obregon Kane as he wakes up with Clompton, the warden who's been chasing him, try to kill him. So he wakes up on this. He wakes up crashing on this planet, and then Compton tries to kill him. Until there's a moment where he's like, "Huh?" There's Compton going, "Huh? What's going on here?" And he's like, where is he? Oh, he sees all these monsters. And once again, this is Paul Pelletier still, right? Where's our credits? There's no credits on the cover this time for some reason. Yes, this is still Paul Pelletier drawing. Some nice stuff. And all of a sudden, Clompton, whatever the heck his name is, says, "We're on Karakoram," which is last issue. That's the name that Charon said was the special place he sent prisoners to be punished. Then he's like, he found out he sent his dog, Clompton sent his dog with him too. He's like, great, at least he's punishing you too. And then Kane gets hit by a stinger. And then wakes up. We see a little bit of Kane's background, and he wakes up with these people who are like, "We rescued you from those giant monsters." So this whole issue now, it stops being about the giant overall war and escape and starts being about this one planet. And we don't really know what's going on this planet, but these people are mind readers. And they're asking Kane, what's up with him and where you from and what's going on. And he doesn't know what's going on until finally at the end, Clompton's dog monster rescues Kane from these people who saved him. And we find out that the people who saved him are the monsters. So the monsters who attacked him and these kindly people who saved him are the same thing. And then it ends with a cliffhanger of Clompton saying, "I hope you may have doomed your whole planet. Let's hope you haven't doomed mine." So we'll have to see what's up with this crazy planet in the next issue. Okay, last issue in this video, Negation number 16. Where this one is all about, it's Compton, not Clompton. is the warden captain's name, spelled with a K, not a C, like the neighborhood out in L.A. But we learn about he and Cain are trapped on this planet, and we learn that the reason this planet is a special punishment is because there's these monsters on this planet that when someone accidentally lands on their planet, they have these psychic things that figure out stuff about them, and then they can turn that person into a gate to that person's home planet, which they go on, and since they're monsters, they kill everyone on the planet and then go back to theirs. So if Charon sends you to this planet, the reason it's so special and so rare is that he's not only condemning you to death, but your whole home planet to death. So it's these two. Now we've got Cain and Compton trying to figure out what to do, how to get off this planet. And they come up with a plan. The plan doesn't work. They come up with another plan. There are those monsters attacking Compton's dog. It's kind of it's not as, it's still fast paced, but it's not as fast paced as the other issues. And you also, here's a guy in the negation power that doesn't like Compton. So there's throughout this whole series, there's a lot of infighting going on between all the negation commanders and stuff like that who really don't like each other. So this issue ends with Cain and Compton sort of making their way to Compton's planet, but trying to save it. And we're going to stop this video here. And our next video series is going to be about, this series comes in right now, Mark of Charon, which is a negation miniseries I think it's about Charon's history. And it's also about, remember from, I think, last video, there was a guy called Javi who was the healer. And he died. But in Mark of Charon, I believe we find out he didn't really die. He ended up in some stasis and healed himself. And Charon comes by and offers him a job. So, what was that? Negation issues, what was that, 11 to 6? I can't even remember. What did I just read? 11 to 16 or 12 to 16? I read 12 to 16. Good stuff, fast-paced, excellent sci-fi action series.